Imagine being able to receive winning lottery numbers in your dreams. Sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? And yet, it's possible. Jose Silva, the brilliant mind behind the Silva Method of mind control, spent years researching how to access the vast reservoir of knowledge contained within our subconscious mind. His goal was nothing less than to decode the language of dreams, to find a way for the conscious mind to communicate with the higher levels of intelligence that guide our lives. And in a beautiful twist of fate, the ultimate clue came to him in a dream. In this video, you'll discover a completely new approach to one of the most powerful instruments we all possess, the world of our dreams. From this day forward, that simple, universal act of sleep, something we all do at least once every 24 hours, will take on an entirely new and fascinating dimension in your life. At Worldwide Miracles, we gather the most valuable knowledge and practical techniques for transforming your reality, directly from the world's leading teachers and authors. In our Silva Method playlist, you'll find exclusive lessons and exercises based on Jose Silva's original work, collected piece by piece from his personal archives and writings, many of which were never released to the public. Our mission is to make this knowledge accessible, clear, and useful to people around the world. Through Silva's simple yet powerful techniques, which we personally use and from which we've seen astonishing results, just like millions of Silva students worldwide, you too can create a breakthrough in your life and begin achieving remarkable outcomes. Everything works if you do it and if you believe. The mind control system is a step-by-step process that guides you from the fundamentals, entering the alpha state, creating a mental screen, practicing proper visualization, to the more advanced levels of inner mastery. And the best part, we share all of these practices absolutely free, illustrated with real-life stories, practical demonstrations, and examples that you can immediately apply. You'll find the link to the Silva Method playlist in the description below this video. Few people have ever lived without pondering the mystery of dreams. Perhaps you've heard of Sigmund Freud's interpretation of them. Freud believed dreams arise spontaneously from the depths of the unconscious. But, as Jose Silva once concluded, that approach is not sufficient for mind control. Silva's fascination lay elsewhere, in learning how to consciously direct one's dreams and use them to solve real-world problems. After years of exploration and a single sacred moment of revelation, which you'll soon hear about, Silva developed a precise technique for programming dream themes in advance and interpreting them afterward to obtain concrete, verifiable results. While this conscious programming may appear to limit the spontaneity of dreams, it grants us something even more valuable, greater control over our lives and a direct channel to answers that matter most to us. When we later interpret such deliberately programmed dreams, we often find within them the exact clues we need to resolve our daily challenges. Let's look at the main stages of Silva's dream control method. The first stage is the foundation of the entire system, entering the alpha state, a calm, meditative level of awareness. This is the base you learn to practice in the very first Silva lesson, which you can find in our playlist. The second stage involves learning to recall your dreams. Many people claim, "I don't dream at all," but that's not true. We all dream every single night. The only difference is whether or not we remember. In fact, if we were deprived of dreaming for just a few days, our minds and emotions would begin to collapse. Throughout history, Dreams have played turning points in the lives of great individuals. These examples deeply inspired Jose Silva during his years of research. Julius Caesar, for instance, received a dream warning him about the Ides of March, the very day he was assassinated. Abraham Lincoln dreamed of his own death shortly before it happened. And of course, Dmitri Mendeleev saw the complete structure of the periodic table in a dream. I, too, have had vivid dreams that later mirrored world events. Dreams so powerful, they left me trembling when I saw the news. In 2020, for example, I dreamed of swimming swiftly underwater through crystal blue ocean waves toward the shore, surrounded by countless sea creatures, rays, fish, dolphins. A few days later, I saw heartbreaking news images of a massive oil spill in the Indian Ocean, and the beaches covered with the very same animals I had seen in my dream. Fascinated by these mysterious patterns of the mind, Jose Silva decided to unlock the true code of dreaming. He studied the works of Freud, Adler, and Jung for nearly 5 years, hoping to find a scientific key to dream communication. Yet the deeper he went, the less it all seemed to make sense. His business as a radio repairman began to suffer, his savings ran low, and he often worked late into the night, exhausted but restless. Finally, one evening, frustrated by the endless search for meaning, Silva threw a psychology book to the floor and said aloud, "Enough. I'm done with these useless theories and their contradictions. From now on, I'll focus only on my radio work. No more futile attempts to save the world or discover miracles of the mind." And with that, he went to sleep. But 2 hours later, Jose woke abruptly. He had seen a vision, not an ordinary dream of images or stories, but a blinding light. He said the entire field of his vision was filled with a radiant golden brilliance. When he opened his eyes, he saw only the darkness of his bedroom. When he closed them again, the light returned. Open, darkness, closed, light. And then, within that dazzling glow, he saw numbers. First 3, 4, 3, then 3, 7, 3, and again 343, 373, repeating, fading, shimmering within the light. What struck him most wasn't the numbers themselves, but the quality of that golden illumination, the sense that he was witnessing something divine. For a moment, Silva even wondered if he was dying, but realizing he was fully awake and alive, he tried desperately to bring the light back, adjusting his breathing, his posture, entering meditative focus, yet nothing worked. The light gradually dimmed, lasting no more than 5 minutes. Still, those numbers, 343 and 373, burned into his memory. Unable to sleep, he spent the rest of the night trying to make sense of them. Phone numbers, addresses, license plates. Nothing fit. The next morning, tired and puzzled, he returned to his workshop. He couldn't have imagined what surprise awaited him that day. Just before closing time, a friend dropped by to invite him for coffee. As Silva's wife passed through the room, she asked casually, "Since you're heading out, could you stop by the Mexican district and pick up some rubbing alcohol? It's cheaper there." On their way, Silva told his friend about the strange dream, the light, the numbers. As they drove, he happened to notice the headquarters of the Mexican National Lottery. A sudden thought struck him. Could those numbers be lottery ticket numbers? But the office was already closed for the evening, its shutters drawn. Silva shrugged. "Nonsense," he said. "Just a silly idea." They drove on to the little shop for the alcohol. While Silva was paying, his friend wandered to another corner of the store where lottery tickets were sold. "Hey, Jose," his friend called out. "What were those numbers again?" 373 and 343. Come take a look at this. In his friend's hand was a ticket numbered 343. That alone might have seemed coincidence enough. But as fate would have it, across all of Mexico, with hundreds of thousands of small shops receiving random ticket batches, only one store carried tickets starting with 343. A few weeks later, Silva learned that his ticket, the very first lottery ticket he had ever purchased, had won $10,000. In 1949, that was a fortune. But what mattered most wasn't the money. It was the proof. For Jose Silva, this was confirmation that his years of exploration weren't meaningless after all, that he had made genuine contact with a higher intelligence. He realized that if his quest had been foolish or harmful, the higher forces would have blocked his path, not rewarded it. But instead, that vision had come precisely at the moment he had almost given up. Could all of it, the timing of the dream, the numbers, his wife's request, his friend's visit, the exact shop they entered, really have been mere coincidence? It seemed far too deliberate, too synchronized to be random. Later, other Silva students would experience similar moments of alignment. While Jose himself taught the method, 4 of his students won lotteries using dream programming and visualization. One woman won $300,000, another man the same, and 2 others received $50,000 each. Their names were documented in Silva's notebooks. Even Helene Hadsel, known as the contest queen, admitted she had used the Silva method to visualize her own contest wins and lottery successes. But for Silva, the true treasure lay elsewhere. The dream of the winning numbers convinced him of something far greater, the undeniable presence of a higher mind, capable of communicating with us directly. Throughout history, countless people have received insights, warnings, or creative breakthroughs through dreams, especially in moments of crisis or profound need. Even the Bible is filled with such examples. For Silva, the fact that it happened to him personally, on the very night of his despair, was a miracle in itself. Friends and colleagues began sharing their own stories. One acquaintance described dreaming the perfect design for the cover of her new therapeutic board game, something she had struggled with for weeks. Upon waking, she sketched what she had seen, and that design became the final published version, helping hundreds of people heal through self-discovery. Another story came from my own mother. After graduating as an aircraft engineer, she worked on developing a new engine component for a helicopter. For weeks, her entire team of experienced designers couldn't find a solution. Then, one night, she dreamed of the exact configuration, the shape, the material, the connection points. When she shared her sketch the next morning, her supervisor at first dismissed it, until he studied it closer and realized it was the missing piece. The team implemented the design, and the prototype helicopter flew flawlessly. My mother was honored as a distinguished engineer. Silva concluded that the dream state creates the perfect channel for communication with the higher mind, a space where information flows freely beyond the limits of ordinary awareness. But then he asked himself, must we always wait passively for the higher mind to contact us? Or could we take the initiative, dial the number ourselves, so to speak, to reach that intelligence whenever we choose? A deeply spiritual man, Silva reflected that if we can reach God through prayer, perhaps we can also establish a systematic way of contacting the higher mind for guidance in everyday life. He clarified, however, that God, and the higher mind are not identical concepts. God is the ultimate source. The higher mind is a channel through which divine information flows. We'll return to this in later lessons. Silva's experiments confirmed his hypothesis. We can indeed reach this higher intelligence through various means, and dream control is one of the simplest and most effective. Yet he always emphasized, this is not magic, it's a natural human ability, a process of awakening powers already built within us. So, how does it work in practice? Let's begin with the foundation. Step 1. Dream recall. Before going to sleep, enter the alpha state using the standard backward countdown you learned in the first Silva lesson. Then, clearly affirm to yourself, I want to remember my dream. I will remember my dream. Place a notebook and pen beside your bed. Or, in today's world, use your phone's voice recorder to capture details without turning on the light. Each time you wake up, in the middle of the night or in the morning, immediately record whatever you recall. With daily practice, your dream memories will become sharper, richer, and more vivid. This has been tested and proven by thousands. Once you're confident in your ability to recall dreams, move to the next phase. Step 2. Dream programming. Before sleep, while in the alpha state, focus on a meaningful problem or question, something that truly matters to you. As Silva said, trivial questions brings trivial answers. Now, mentally or aloud, affirm, I want to have a dream that contains information to help solve the problem on my mind. I will have such a dream. I will remember it, and I will understand its meaning. Upon waking, write down or record the details of the dream. Reflect on the symbols and emotions, and interpret them in light of your question. Remember, no dream dictionary, and not even Jose Silva himself, can interpret your dreams better than you. Your subconscious mind speaks to you in your own language of symbols. When you train yourself to expect understanding, that understanding will come. Just consider one of the most famous examples of dream inspiration. A man once dreamed of being surrounded by tribesmen in the jungle. They were attacking him with spears that had holes near their tips. When he awoke, he realized the dream had shown him the missing element of his invention, a needle with a hole near its point. That man was Elias Howe, the inventor of the first practical sewing machine. Dreams, when programmed and remembered, can solve problems that logic alone cannot. Silva often told the story of one of his students whose dream quite literally saved his life. Before a week-long motorcycle trip, the man programmed himself to receive a dream warning him of any potential danger. That night, he dreamed he was at a friend's house, served a plate overflowing with raw beans, while everyone else enjoyed a delicious cooked meal. The dream made little sense at first. 2 days later, on the open highway, the morning was clear and calm. The only vehicle ahead was a small truck. As he approached, he noticed the truck's bed was filled to the brim with beans. Remembering his dream, he slowed down, just as the truck took a turn and spilled some beans onto the road. A few rolled beneath his wheels, causing a light skid. At high speed, it would have been fatal. That dream, programmed intentionally, had warned him in time. Now, as for the idea of winning the lottery, Silva always cautioned. Dream control is not about chasing luck or fantasy. The odds of a lottery are designed so that few will ever win. But when you work in harmony with your higher mind, you can win in ways far beyond money, through insight, health, opportunity, and inspiration. so remember the wisdom shared by truly wealthy souls, those rich not only in money, but in wisdom and spirit. Don't ask for $1 million. Ask for the idea that's worth $1 million. That principle is far more powerful and far more reliable. Summary: the dream control algorithm. 1. Before sleep, enter the alpha state and program yourself simply to remember your dreams. Say, I want to remember my dream. I will remember my dream. 2. Upon waking, write down or record whatever you recall, even fragments. 3. Once dream recall improves, move to programming a specific question or problem. In the alpha state, affirm, I want to have a dream that contains information for solving the problem on my mind. I will see such a dream, remember it, and understand it. 4. Upon waking, record and interpret the dream, connecting its meaning to your request. Trust that the guidance you receive comes with the ability to understand it. Friends, practice this technique and watch how your inner world begins to respond. Share your results and your own stories of prophetic or transformative dreams. We'd love to hear from you. And of course, subscribe to our channel Worldwide Miracles, click the notification bell to stay updated, and leave us a like if this video inspired you. May your dreams guide you to clarity, creativity, and miracles. Until next time, stay blessed with worldwide miracles.